Jai Hind friends, qualifying Indian civil service is like climbing Mount Everest. It's very challenging. It's not tough. Majority people who enter into this examination, they think that it is tough. When a thing is tough, it really becomes impossible. Things are generally challenging. Once you understand the challenges, 70% of your trouble is over. Mahabharat war, Bhisham Pitama is a great warrior. But Krishna knows how to tackle Bhisham Pitama. Dronachar is a guru himself. Karna is a very big warrior. But if you see Krishna's role as a coach, you'll see that he makes the things easy for Arjuna. This is the role of the institutes, this is the role of coaching, this is the role of coaches. But one more thing, it's not that the coaching institute or coaches play a role, major role in the selection, because 5 brothers were there. Arjun was able to get Dronachar. Arjun was able to get Lord Krishna. It's one who starts understanding the game. It's very important. In my teaching career of 25 years, I have seen thousands of students. If I say lakhs, it will not be exaggeration. I have seen thousands of aspirants, thousands of students, and it was always the people who understood the game, they qualified it. Sometimes it's not clear whether you will be able to open the last door or not. And when a person gets selection in the last attempt, you can imagine his psychological status. And today I am going to introduce a person, Mr. Kiran Kamate from Karnataka. Welcome, Kiran.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations for such a huge success. So, he gets selection in the last attempt, 6th attempt.
Yes, sir.
How you started last attempt?
So,
What were your thoughts when you went for the prelims? Tomorrow, 24th again is the prelims.
Yes.
And many people like you must be appearing tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You want to say something to them?
First of all, I would say, sir, even after clearing this exam, when I think of prelims, which is tomorrow, I still get I get afraid of the D-Day, sir. It was a difficult journey, sir. Six attempts. It took me almost 6-7 years of preparation. The fact that I did it with a full-time job in my state government also made it more difficult.
Challenging, yes.
Challenging. As you said, this exam is challenging, but is it impossible? Absolutely not. So my journey has been more of, people say no, so life is ups and downs. Mine is more of downs and downs until the last attempt. So this is
First attempt you qualified prelims?
No, sir. The first 2 attempts I could not clear my prelims. So it was only in 3rd attempt that I cleared my prelims.
Mains also?
But I could not clear mains that year, sir. So 4th attempt, between that time I got my job. So 4th attempt I thought I will finish everything this time, but I could not clear the prelims itself, sir.
4th attempt?
Yes. So I was just left with 2 attempts, 5th and 6th. So 5th attempt I had changed my optional from civil engineering to political science. I reached till the interview stage. Now I thought this attempt is going to be mine, but unfortunately I missed it by 37 marks.
No.
So now when I was left with final attempt, I think the pressure was even more, sir. But God was graceful, and with parents' blessing I could clear in my final attempt, 6th and final attempt.
Kiran,
Yes,
let's move to the first question.
Yes.
Family has a very key role in the success of a person.
Absolutely.
Many times I have seen. So in your case, I want a brief description of your family, your parents, plus the most deciding factor, the most important factor of your family which helped you to get this position today.
Yes. Sir, my family is a total of 4, sir. Me, my father, my mother, and I have a twin sister, Kirti. And the most recent entrant is my wife. So she's the 5th member. As you said, yes, without family support, one cannot reach this level. They have been supportive all throughout all my attempts, because sharing success is easy, sir. I feel, but sharing my miseries, my failures for so long, I think they have been equally part of it. very grateful that they were very supportive, understanding. I have to thank my father, sir. I think it is his dream. It was his dream.
What's the name of your father?
He's Dr. S.C. Kamate, sir. He's a principal of an engineering college.
Oh, great.
So it was his dream to pursue civil services, but because of family pressures, responsibility, he could not during his time. So I have waited 6 years, but he has waited 30 years, sir.
Definitely, yes.
So apart from that, I would say my mother has been, she does not understand the all this examination, etc. All she wanted was to be at peace. She wanted me to be at peace. So she's very happy that finally I'm shutting down all my...
You're relieved from all types of
from all this, yes. And
what's the name of your mother?
Rukmini, sir. Yes. And my wife has been very instrumental, sir. I have met her during the preparation itself. So she was someone in the same circle. So she understood how badly I wanted to do this. So even after marriage, she was very supportive. She maintained my timetable, my diet, because with work it was even difficult. So she was very instrumental in that sense. So I'm very grateful to all of these, sir. All.
She used to prepare your current affair notes?
Yeah. I would actually tell her to do the value addition notes for me.
Yes. So that was a great part she was playing.
Yes, sir.
So grand congratulations to all the people of your family. Anyone other than the family?
Other than the family, I have to thank my seniors at workplace, sir, because in the government setup, you know how it is difficult. It's very difficult that when you're no one usually supports a junior who's preparing for an exam, who when clears will become your own boss. So I think I was again very lucky to find beautiful people in my workplace also. So Srimati Sumalata KG ma'am, she's been very instrumental, very supportive. She managed my work and the workload, etc., and distribution of work, allocation of my leaves, etc. She was very kind. So I'm very grateful to her also, sir.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So this was the journey, and I request to all of you, when a member from your family, whether a son or a daughter or a brother or a sister is preparing for civil service, I have a simple request from all of you. The person who enters into this war is already in pressure. So if you can help him in any way, the one and only thing you can do in a very smart way is please relieve his or her pressure. Be kind to him or her. Give some hope, give some strength, give some smile. Say something that he or she should smile. If you fail to qualify, you will become member of parliament. Well, I want to say that it's a big game. It's a big game, and it's a game of pressure, complete pressure. Every day a person is in pressure. So as he says, as he thanks everyone, tomorrow your son, your daughter, your friend, your brother, he or she can sit here and thank you. It's a very important part of preparation of the civil services. From where you got this idea? Your father.
Yes.
You gave a very good statement. I should not ask this question because you said my father waited for 30 years. I waited for 6 years. So there is no question of asking this question because you already gave a very grand answer for this. So you had an idea from your father being a principal of a college. So what was the first step which you took while entering into this examination?
Sir, I started this on my own, sir. So initially I did not have any kind of guidance, and maybe that is why it costed the first few attempts. Because all of my initial attempts were through my own learnings, my own mistakes. So it was more of trial and error. So yes, it has its advantage. Like you do not give yourself any boundary, so you learn everything in the process. That helps. But the drawback of it is that you tend to waste a lot of time.
Definitely.
Yes. So the issue with UPSC preparation is it is easy to begin, sir. It is very easy to begin, but you do not know where to end.
That's a point. Correct.
So that was my biggest hurdle initially, sir. But with various online resources, free resources from YouTube, Google, etc., slowly I started getting some guidance. So it was only when then it started taking a shape.
No, I want to know what was your first step.
So the first step, in the sense,
NCERTs?
NCERT, sir, 6 to 12th. It has to be the foundation, sir. Even if we
Just explain this word foundation. What exactly this means when you say to this aspirant? What exactly it means?
So initially, what happens is aspirants directly want to read the M. Lakshmikant. They directly want to jump into all the textbooks. They want to study the syllabus in the first few months
Without
itself.
knowing to swim,
Yes.
they want to do butterfly in the water.
Yes. And especially with respect to engineering or technical background students like myself. I came from technical background, so I was not associated with humanities subjects.
Yes.
So the last time I studied history was in
Class
10th standard. So after that, it was a huge break. Now suddenly I am not able to transit from a technical way of studying to an humanities. I would always say that technical studies is more of black and white, whereas humanities is a full spectrum. So that transition is difficult for engineering students. So that is why NCERTs come in handy, sir. It has to be mandatorily done, the 6 to 12th. Only upon that the other reference books, the coaching notes has to come, sir.
See, what exactly he said, he very explicitly said, ki last time when I went through humanities was class 10th. I have an engineering background. I was not clear what exactly is the role of history if I study it. What exactly polity means if I go through it. What exactly geography and economy means if I try to make. You will make notes only when you understand the relevancy of a subject. Notes are of two types. First type, you keep the textbook in front of you and then you start writing. Take out the lines from the book, write the same lines of the book, and then you are happy from inside, I prepared the notes. That is the blunder most of you do. Notes is, you picked up the first chapter of NCERT, class 12, Vipin Chandra, old NCERT, and the first chapter is 18th century India. And when you went through this chapter and close the book and start thinking, yaar, 18th century is a century when British started conquering India. You are conquered only when you become weak. So first chapter will give you the picture that India is politically weak. Mughal Empire is over. 1739, Battle of Karnal. Second picture, the new emerging states, they were more or less like the Mughals, extracting revenue, not bothered about anything. Then you see the culture of India, then you see the education of India, then you see the rulers of India, and then you have the entire gist of the chapter in 2 to 3 pages. That is called as notes. And then you know the formula, a country will be conquered only if a country has become weak from inside. So from there, from that chapter, you can compare with the modern world history. Yes. Isn't it?
You've rightly pointed out one important thing, yes. Note making. Because initially, if people want to start making notes right from the day one, what they end up doing is repeating the same textbook.
Repeating the same thing.
And they also try to highlight from the day one. Initially, what happens is everything that we read is important because we are unknown to it.
True.
That's why we end up highlighting the entire textbook.
So this is the role of NCERT. It's the door of UPSC.
Yes.
Prepare a background of geography, history, economy, polity. Keep them in your mind. All the diagrams. GDP of US, GDP of Japan, GDP of China, GDP of India, GDP of Pakistan, GDP of Nepal. You will be clear why this US, China and Japan are entered into developed countries, why Pakistan is backward, why India is still in a developing race. You'll be able to compare everything. So this was the first step, which I know every topper who sat here talked about it. I hope it will be very clear to all of you what exactly preparing NCERT means. Second step.
Yes. Second step was transiting to the one subject, one reference book, sir. This is what I...
Example?
For Lakshmikant, it was...
Polity?
For polity, it was M. Lakshmikant. It was modern history, M. Spectrum. Then I have to highlight a few other books here, sir. Various McGraw-Hill books like Poonam Dalal Dahiya for ancient and medieval history, and for governance, Karthikeyan Sir's book. That was my first book for mains oriented studies. So these are few books, sir, but I always feel that like even the other topper says, one subject, one book. That's it. And multiple revisions of the same book.
Revisions.
Yes.
I'll come to that point. Revision.
Yes.
One book, one subject.
Yes.
How to prepare mains notes?
So mains notes, I think traditionally I feel there was a need for note making. Now I feel the exam, the kind of questions that are coming in mains are also very dynamic. So I feel once the basic notes making is needed, but what is more important is I feel the value addition notes. I have not made any mains notes, sir.
Achha.
I have just used a ready-made coaching material, mains oriented notes. But the only notes I did for mains was the value addition notes.
Which coaching?
Sir, it was any popular institute that available in the market. Of course, Aram IAS mains oriented books have been very instrumental, especially with respect to value additions.
Value additions.
Now that is where, especially again, I have to highlight one more thing, sir, before note making, the PYQ analysis. So that is where I was stuck in my first mains. So my successful mains came only when I got understanding of how the PYQ analysis is done. Everyone says do PYQ analysis. I did not know how to do it. So I think that is where Aram IAS mains class notes came in, the value addition notes came in. That was very handy, sir. So apart from that notes making, I feel recently there is no need for it. I feel people tend to lose more time in that. So my suggestion is read whatever is available in the market. Do value addition on your own. That value addition has to be on your own. So basic notes everyone is writing, so the basic points are everyone writing. But what sets apart our answer from the rest is the value addition that we bring in.
Definitely. Yes. Definitely. You also referred toppers notes?
Yes, sir. Toppers notes also gives an idea into how to make the value addition notes, the basic mains notes that can come in handy, sir.
So the first thing is that again he is also repeating the same thing. See, if you are able to take some basic points of all these toppers, your mystery will be solved. Keep the syllabus. Ally the syllabus with two things: PYQs and toppers notes. And these trinity, syllabus, PYQ, toppers note, this trinity will create a clear-cut picture of your notes of mains. And then you can do value addition by yourself, by the coaching institutes. As Kiran says, Aram IAS gave me a good help in value addition by the way of their questions, the way they prepare their papers and notes, etc., etc. So this was NCERT plus mains. Prelims?
So prelims, my funda was to focus more on the core subjects, not run behind current affairs. I think initially, again, one of the mistake I did and most aspirants do is they chase current affairs a lot while not perfecting their core subjects, which is history, polity, geography and economics. So until and unless those 4 core subjects are not very concrete, it should be at the tip of your fingertips. If that is not the case and you are chasing current affairs, that will not yield results. And my first successful prelims came only when I've solved a lot of mock tests. So that was my biggest learning. So what you used to do by solving these mock tests? So again, solving itself is not a process. It will not give you any results. What you do after it, post analysis, the analysis you do for another 2 and 3 hours of each test. That actually.
What you did there?
Yes. So firstly, I would segregate the overall questions. So let's say I've attempted 90 questions. So the 10 questions are unattempted. So these 10 questions are coming from areas that I have not learned till now. I have not come across till now. So this was not in my memory or in my preparation. Somewhat it was not in my study material. So I make sure that I read the synopsis of those 10 questions first. Second, I would jump to the negative questions. The questions I've got incorrect, I've made incorrect. I would segregate them into 3 categories. One is those questions where I have got them because of conceptual, I have not conceptually not got them right, sir. I've read the subject, but I've made the mistake on the day of the test. So this is one part. Second, the silly mistakes, sir. Questions like which of them are not correct, which of them are or increase, decrease. So these are very silly. I have applied the logic, but in the exact, without looking at the bold word there, sir. So this would be my second category of incorrect. Then the third would be the guesses I had taken, but it went wrong. So this is how I would categorize, sir. Once all these are done, I would also go through the synopsis of the correct questions also. The ones I've got right, even I would go through the solutions of those questions. Because some questions I might have taken a guess and it has got right on that instance. Maybe in next test I might not get it right. So my duty is to first clear it off conceptually. So I would also advise students to also use the other three options of the correct answer, which can be potential questions.
Sure.
This is true for PYQ as also and test series. So this is how I would analyze, sir, and would spend most of my time analyzing after the test. I would spend at least 2 to 3 years. So this has yielded me better results rather than just simply writing more tests and looking at how much I've scored. Or that is secondary, sir. That is immaterial actually. Yes.
Kiran again says the same thing. Practice is an art. This is said by all the toppers. Note down the keywords of all the toppers. Keywords. How they prepare the mains. How they go for C. He says whatever you are getting in the mock test, that is not important. The hard work which you do post mock. The tough questions. The questions which I have left. The topic which is not clear. The subject which is still not under control. All these chart papers should be prepared with every paper you are doing.
Yes.
And once you prepare the chart paper of at least 200 question papers, minimum, I assure you, 90% you are going to qualify your prelims.
Yes.
90%. 100 if I say, you will be in trouble. 90. 200 papers allied with the report card. Every paper, what was the challenge for you? And in the next paper, whether you are able to improve it or not. And in this way, if you do 200 papers, with the end of 200 paper, I assure you 90% you will be able to qualify prelims. So NCERT, mains, prelims, newspaper.
Newspaper, it has been very integral part, sir. I have followed newspaper every day, sir. Yeah, even after results. So my go-to newspaper was the Hindu, but during mains I read 2 newspapers, the Indian Express also. Especially I would highlight the text and context part in the Hindu and the explained series in the Indian Express. So these 2 I have to mention, and a lot of validation comes from these newspapers.
Any specific way of preparing the newspaper?
If there's a very good article, sir, editorial, I would read it once and use ChatGPT for making 5 to 7 lines of the summary of it.
Okay.
And I would give a prompt to saying that retain all the keywords, all the very good quotations, data, fact, figure, and also the author's name also. So I would directly this would come in handy for revision, sir. I don't have to read the editorial again and again. I would also feed it with the UPSC syllabus and ask it where will this exactly fit in and where I can utilize across papers.
Whether it's a part of society, geography,
yes,
na?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is how I would utilize newspapers.
Newspapers are called as the soul of UPSC, isn't it?
100%.
95% students are struggling.
Yes.
From the very beginning.
Yes.
So what was your way of handling this challenge of newspaper? I think you would have also started reading newspaper after graduation only.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Or possibly from the preparation. So you also would have felt the same challenge.
Yes.
So how you handle that challenge?
So one thing is reading newspaper from day one is difficult, sir, because we don't understand. Let's say the front page is talking about repo rates, reverse repo rates, etc. As a day one aspirant, I would not understand anything and I would be demotivated to open the newspaper the next day. So my suggestion is that until and unless you have covered 30-40% of the syllabus, I would not advise you to take up newspapers.
This is a point. You will be disappointed if you take it on the first day. Please go ahead.
And once that gets internalized, no sir, like newspaper, I'm not understanding newspapers. Once that gets fed into the brain, we just make excuses year after year that I'm not going to study newspapers or read newspapers. So for not that to happen, I would advise what I said earlier, and slowly begin only once 30-40% of your syllabus is over. So without understanding, and even I mentioned NCRTs, without having that foundation, so that is the meaning of the foundations. Without understanding the basics of each subject, if I'm directly chasing current affairs and reading the Hindu editorials, I will not understand it.
Definitely, yes. Definitely. Policymakers have to change with the time. It's their destiny. So if policymakers have to change with the time, definitely the exam for the policymakers have also to change with the time. So the UPSC pattern of 1980 got a change after 1991. LPG had a very big impact on the pattern of civil services. Then it went on changing with the change of Indian economy, society, polity, etc., etc. And as we are moving ahead, India as a superpower in the coming years. So UPSC, and then post-COVID, AI, chat GPT, etc., etc. UPSC is in a very good pace. It's changing its trend. You agree with it?
100%.
What are the new changes which you see?
So I feel in the last 3 years, every year has been a different kind of pattern, and especially with respect to prelims. So the kind of earlier UPSC would play around with questions. Now in recent years he's playing around with options.
Options.
So not the trend earlier.
Yes.
Yes. So this is one biggest change that is happening, sir. Second is earlier the questions were very of short length. So even the institutes or toppers would advise you to go for 2 to 3 iterations of solving. Now there is no time for third iteration.
There is no time.
I would call now not even time for the second iteration. So my advice is there is only 1.5 iteration now. So that is one more change. The length of the questions are becoming very lengthy in the recent years. And there is also a very difference in the kind of questions, especially with respect to the weightage, sir. Earlier, ancient medieval history was of less. Most toppers would advise you to not even skip it. But today, if you skip ancient and medieval, you are done, sir.
You're gone.
Yes. So these are some changes that are happening. And of course, with respect to CSAT, the difficulty has been increasing year on year, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
With respect to mains, I feel there has been an increase in the dynamism with respect to mains also, sir. Especially GS2. The kind of questions that are coming in GS2 are more dynamic in nature. If you observe the international relations, even with respect to polity, the traditional polity questions are not coming. They're more current affairs oriented.
Yeah,
so that is where again the newspaper comes in very handy. So these are some changes, sir. And essay has been, the marking of essay has been very extreme, sir. You're either getting 70-80 or straight away getting 120 plus. So this is some...
There are changes which are clearly visible.
Yes.
PSIR became your optional.
Yes, sir.
Initially it was civil engineering and then PSIR.
Yes, sir.
So what are the key parameters to prepare optional and how to select, how to choose a optional?
So how to choose optional again?
From engineering background,
yes.
you came to humanities.
Yes, sir.
So it's a very big thing that,
yes.
And you got success with it.
Yes, sir.
How much marks you got?
275 this year.
So what is your opinion, advice for the students to be careful when they are choosing the optional and how to prepare the optional?
So my advice is again not jump directly into make any fixed plans with respect to that I'll choose this particular option from day one. And again I would say this is where NCRTs will come in handy. So only what NCRT does it gives a peek into all different subjects initially.
Yes.
Now based on your own interest while reading, you tend to get a more curiosity and interest with particular subject. That can be a way of choosing an option. But also I would say the recent trends in marking pattern or the 4-5 subjects that are doing well in recent years. Students have to take note of that also, but that should not be a primary criteria. The primary criteria has to be curiosity. It has to be curiosity and interest in the subject.
Correct.
Only then you have to go for which topper is choosing what. That should be secondary. That it is actually immaterial, but the primary criteria has to be interest. So that is
secondary.
Secondary, I would see what is the resources that are available in the market. Let's say I choose an optional. I am very interested, but there is no enough material or answer writing for practicing answer writing. There's no enough test series. Then it becomes difficult, sir. So you are preparing in solitude, and you feel that whatever I am doing is the right way. When the marks comes, it will not be the reflective of the same.
CSET, as you yourself said, becoming challenging year by year. So, what is your advice to strengthen the portion of CSET?
So CSET, I feel, is that unlike GS, where we have to optimize, at least score 90 plus. CSET out of 80, I feel you should be able to attempt only 45 to 50. So for the example, we'll take 50, sir. So out of 80, if you are able to solve 50, it means the 30 we don't have to solve. So instead of choosing which question to solve, we should first eliminate which I will not solve in the first few minutes.
That is a good point.
That's the biggest, I think, important step one has to do. So what students do is, because they've, just like the GS paper, they start solving from question 1 to 100. That is a big mistake here. Straight away we have to eliminate. Let's say during my preparation I have not studied a particular topic. For example, time, speed and distance. For the example I'm taking. Now the first few questions are of the same topic. Why should I invest my time there when I clearly know that I have not spent any time preparing it? So straight away I'm eliminating those questions and directly choosing the kind of questions I want to do, where I will know that I will be able to solve it accurately. So I think CSET is more about eliminating and picking your own questions. So 45 to 50 is important, and with enough practice, PYQ practice, this CSET would be easy, sir.
Civil service preparation is a preparation of pain. You feel the pain. Now in this pain, if you maintain this pain, you are going to be in trouble. You have to turn this pain into your pleasure also. You were lucky to have a very good family, a very good friends, a very good associates and all those things, and then a great wife. Apart from it, how you self-motivated yourself?
Sir, motivation, I feel, is the overused word here, because motivation is temporary.
That is true.
First few years, first attempt, it is very important to have motivation to get into the preparation mode. But thereafter, it is only discipline that will keep you, continued with the preparation. For me, my motivation was always to remember why I started, sir. So every time I would be bored, every time I would be not able to study in the same energy or enthusiasm, I would always go back to and ask myself, why did I start this preparation when I could have taken any other step like my other peers, settled with private jobs or any other. So that would give me a boost. That would help me understand that why I started this. So it's always important to remember why we started. And second is, it is also important to give oneself a break, sir, timely. So if I've honestly and sincerely prepared for a week, I would myself give a half day or a day break at the end of the week. It is important to take care of your mental health, because this exam is a marathon, it is not a sprint. So if you are able to put all your energy in at once, you will be burned out very quickly.
You will be exhausted. You started running with the speed in the first pace.
Yes, you will be exhausted. Whereas someone who started very slowly might overtake you in the long run.
You want to say that tortoise model is very good.
Yes, absolutely. So motivation, I feel this is a few things I would like to highlight, sir. And ultimately, have
literature, music.
Yes, sir. I would love to watch a lot of movies. I also read beyond UPSC. I would read a lot, sir. I also love collecting books.
Power of
watching.
Now.
Yes, sir.
You read it?
Power of
Now, Eckhart Tolle.
No, sir. Someone gifted me that book. I'm yet to read it, sir. Yes.
Okay.
So this, so pursuing your own interests also helps, sir.
Definitely.
Leisure.
So these were the general discussions, which are the basic necessities for aspirant when he starts preparing this, when he enters in this journey of civil services. He gives you a very important point. He says NCRTs will help you. He says if you are bored, you have to generate your own motivation. Literature is helpful, music is helpful. You have to give a break at least half day. And don't run right from the very beginning. If you follow the rabbit model, you have to take the rest, and possibly that rest, a long rest, will become costly for you. So tortoise model, working every day with a good space, working every day, then giving a half day break or possibly a day's break and maintaining the self-enthusiasm, etc., etc. And then you will be able to open the door with the grace of Almighty. Now I am coming to a paper which generally people don't consider when they start the preparation. It's a very important paper. The Trinity of Civil Services: essay, ethics and optional. But when a student comes and he starts preparing, for him the biggest goal is optional and GS, optional and GS, and he initially neglects this part of essay, which is a very important part and is strategically put in the civil service examination, because essay means your personality for perceiving a thing, your personality of observation, your personality of taking decisions, your personality of analysis. All this combine and become an essay. How you perceive, how you see woman empowerment, how you see it. Do you think it is done, or there is still a huge scope in it? And if why, and if it is needed, why? How? What help it is going to do to the society and the nation? And when you write the conclusion, you speak about the solutions. And I tell you with guarantee, sometimes your solution is taken up by the government also. You write such a wonderful solution. It's a very important part. Very important part, deciding your rank and selection also. If you got, best part is, you don't have any particular book for it. You don't have any particular guidance for it. There are people who help you in essay writing, but then it's an unorganized sector. But all those people who qualified IAS, they had a very good approach on essay. If not, they improved it. How much marks you got?
Sir, last year I got 123. This year it was 115, sir.
Acha.
Yes.
But there also it was good. 115. 123 was very good.
Yes.
Huh?
Last year, sir.
So how to prepare? What is essay? First thing.
Sir, first of all, I've rightly mentioned that it is strategically placed. And it is an open field, sir. Unlike GS or essay or ethics, it's an open field where your creative mind gets the, gets to experience. So all your interest in literature, in movies, etc., you can utilize them here, sir. It's not very objective like GS. It's a open field. So essay for me is, I would disagree with most who say that it is an extension of GS. That is not the way I looked at essays. If that was the way, then they would have called it GS5 or GS0.
Definitely. Yes.
So it is strategically placed as essay. So I feel that it has to be given its own due. Just like we prepare GS specifically with respect to GS lens, we look at optional through its own lens. We have to look at essay in its own lens. So yes, the fodder material comes from GS optional essay, but that cannot be the primary way we look at it. So for essay, I would feel I would accumulate a lot of quotations and anecdotes, which are very unique, sir, and across themes. So this is how I would create my own fodder material. And I had a pattern of observing the best copies from toppers, and also my own, as I mentioned earlier, I would take a lot of help even from the editorials. So when a writer writes, we have to observe how he opens topic and how he expands further, because newspaper is written for common man's.
Definitely.
So he has to, no matter how expert he is in that field, he cannot write it very technically. Then no one would read that editorial.
Definitely.
So the same thing goes for essays, sir. So it has to be understood for a layman. So that is why I would write my essays and show it to non-UPSC people.
Acha, this is a very new thing you are telling.
So I would take inputs from them, sir, rather from the UPSC people. So there is a friend of mine who's a doctor, so Dr. Prasanna Angdi. So I would send my essays to him. So he would shed some light on it. He would give his view on it. So this actually helped me, sir. How a common man, a non-UPSC background person looks at my essay. Does he understand it or no? So if it is too technical or too mechanical in nature, he would identify it, say, I have not understood this topic, like any particular keyword, jargons that I've forcefully fed just because I have a familiarity with my optional subjects. He would not understand it. So I feel this is the lens I would start looking at my essay, sir. Not make it more mechanical, not make sound more very academic or jargon words. So this helped me. So I kept it very simple. So this is my advice, sir. And ultimately, I feel that essay it has to be very organic, sir. It has to grow like a plant. It has to grow naturally. You should not come with any particular framework that I would, for this kind of essay I will write this, or this is the kind of fodder material I had prepared. So when a topic comes, I will not think from my study material. No matter how many anecdotes you have collected, how many quotations you have collected, if it is not fitting into that particular topic on the day of exam, I will not force fit it. I will try to think organically even on that day, sir. So this approach actually helped me, sir. Second, one different one change I made was to highlight the philosophical underpinnings of that essay topic. So once I start my anecdote and essay, I would write the thesis questions, and the first step I would do before jumping is highlight the philosophical underpinning of it. So what I did was I collected a lot of philosophical ideas of various thinkers and try to link it to the topic and give that foundation to the topic, sir, the essay topic. Then I would begin with the regular approach of pros, cons, and the synthesis later, summary, and then give the conclusions. So this was my approach.
This introduction, body, and conclusion, what does it means?
So the IBC format, what we say, it's a format to write our a framework to write answer for the general study.
So what do you do with the introduction? What do you want to say with the introduction? So what do you think when you write introduction?
So introductions, basically you're giving the premise of that question or placing the context of the question. That's the role of introductions. So in the body we are expanding it, writing, going much deeper, trying to give both sides of the topic, and then
both side means
the positive and the negative, or the opportunities and the challenges. This way I would break down the question. That is the body parts. And then the conclusion would be about a more way forward kind of approach. So beyond what is asked, like what is its relevance in the future or the present. That is how
how it is going to help the human life.
Yes, sir. So this is the IBC format.
Time management?
So time management, it has to, especially with GS papers, it is a challenge, sir, because we get just 7.5 minutes for 10 marker and 11 minutes for 15 marker. So
essay time management.
The time management with essay comes in with the kind of brainstorming we do before writings. If you are able to put 15-20 minutes for each essay for brainstorming it, you are able to better articulate and write the essay much in that remaining time, sir. Let's say I'm trying to save the initial minutes. I'm just forcefully finishing my brainstorming in just 5 minutes, thinking that I will utilize the rest of the minute for writing an essay. You might start in the first few pages, 3-4 pages, then you will be stuck because of the lack of brainstorming. Correct. So brainstorming is an investment to write good essays. So I would advise not to compromise on those the 15-20 minutes initially for each essays. So 1.5 hour for each essay. So if 15-20 minutes for brainstorming, I would utilize the another 1 or 10 minutes for the writing the essays.
Kiran gives a very good thing. He talks about a very good thing approach of essay. Very good. Even I never thought about it. And I think most of my colleagues would have also not thought about it. He says that editorials are written for the people of the country. So the person who's writing an editorial, he avoids technicality. He avoids toughness. Because you're not writing for scholars. You're writing for a common man. Oil diplomacy. You're not writing for bureaucrats. You're not writing for ministers. You're writing for a common man. So you have to maintain a simplicity of the article so that a common man who reads it should be able to get the entire glimpse of oil diplomacy. What exactly oil diplomacy means? What is oil diplomacy? What comes under oil diplomacy? What is the conclusion of oil diplomacy? And then he says a very good thing. He says, I'll give it to a non-UPSC person. As you talked about your doctor friend.
Yes, yes.
And if my this UPSC person understands and enjoys it, that means I am writing a good essay.
Yes, sir.
What a point. Ultimate.
Yes.
Appreciable.
Thank you, sir.
Fourth, next point is when people start preparing for this civil service, they are generally bothered about prelims, mains and all. What should they do for preparing this essay?
They should focus on reading more books beyond UPSC, sir. So,
any book which you will try to refer to the aspirants?
sir, a lot of fiction, even non-fiction books, sir. If I have to advise, suggest few books, 1984 by George Orwell, Animal Farm. These are very simple, basic books which can be used as anecdotes. So these are few books, sir. Apart from that, in non-fiction, I have a lot of books. Cases that India Forgot, Chintan Chandrachud. Then Through the Broken Glass, the autobiography of T.N. Seshan, sir. So these are some books I've read, which I've directly quoted in various papers, especially with respect to essay also, sir. So this is one thing. My advice is you should be very happy to read more, sir. You should not look at reading as a burden, that I have to read this many pages.
Correct.
To read, you have to just enjoy it. That is why I always say curiosity is the most fundamental trait a UPSC aspirant has to have. It is not just intelligence or any other things. It is curiosity.
How many essays to write till the D-Day comes?
Sir, I would advise at least, I have written 8 essays, sir. So 8 into 2, that is 16 essays.
Between prelims and mains?
Yes.
No. 8 essays.
Yes. So that is 8 into 2, 16 essays. My advice is at least 5 essays, sir.
5
into 2.
No, when they are preparing before prelims.
Before prelims, I would advise at least do a lot of brainstorming every 10 days, 12 days and write one essay every fortnight. Yes.
That is fine. That is fine. So this was the discussion about the essay paper, which is a very crucial paper, very important paper, and it has a lot to do with your personality plus the way of your thinking. Let's start the first paper of GS, which includes history, geography and society. Many of you, when you start preparing for civil services, you think that this syllabus is designed like a burden on a camel. No. The best part of UPSC is that the entire GS syllabus is basically to infuse a sense of understanding that the country is moving in which direction. First thing. Second thing, what else are the parameters which are required to strengthen a country? I tell you example. 1787 America was born, which was a slum area, 13 colonies. In 1945, America becomes a world power. 1991, America becomes a superpower. This journey of United States of America from a slum to a superpower has a lot to do with history, geography, society. Obama becomes the president of America, and once racialism was one of the biggest challenge for the American state. as they handled all the challenges and became a superpower, so we are also moving in the same direction. Now what history will do? History will help you to strengthen the pillars of society, economy, polity. India is a land of diversity. Who was the first ruler to handle the diversity? Ashoka. He handled it in a very smart way. Akbar, he also handled almost everyone. India's foreign policy, if you see Ashoka's foreign policy, policy of Dhamma, Dhamma missions. He's sending Dhamma missions to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, China, and all over the Asian countries. You'll see all the symptoms of a developed nation. If you see the history of Mauryans, the famous universities. Today when you talk about America, you talk about Harvard. The moment you say Harvard, it clicks United States of America. The moment you say Cambridge, immediately you think about Britain. Similarly, in ancient period, when you said Takshila, it meant Magad. When you said Nalanda, it meant Magad. History is very important. And the entire syllabus is meticulously framed. Nothing extra. They don't want you to study entire ancient India. They don't want you to study entire medieval India. But then, modern India, culture of India, modern world history, post-independence. So, ancient India, medieval India, even NCRTs will be more than sufficient if you go through it properly, with proper diagrams. How you did ancient and medieval?
Sir, one was the basic book which I mentioned earlier, Ancient and Medieval History by Poonam Dalal Dahiya. That was my go-to book, sir. Apart from that, the basic NCRTs again, where the foundation happened. So I would collect for...
What to take out from ancient and medieval?
With respect to means, sir?
No. Yes.
So with respect to means, I think the PYQs will give you a good understanding of what is expected.
Definitely.
So the questions on literature, sometimes it is the various, the Persian literature, the question one that was asked, then various temple architecture, then the role of various dynasties in that particular era. So PYQ will give an understanding of what is the depth and the width of the subject.
Correct.
So apart from that, sir, I feel it is difficult in terms of, for me, especially from an engineering background, it was GS1 in particular was very difficult for me to answer, sir. Yes, it is not very analytical in the sense; it is more memory oriented, especially with respect to ancient medieval histories.
Modern India.
Modern India, I would enjoy, sir. I would read it. For me, I felt the key to modern India is chronology, sir. If you're able to understand the chronology, even in prelims, most of the questions you can answer. Even with respect to the answer writing in mains, if chronology is understood, that itself is a framework to write answers.
Definitely.
So, rather than just chasing the rote learning, the various years, books, the travelers, that the chronology will help in better structuring of answers. So this is how I would look at modern history also.
India, the golden sparrow, saw many invasions. The Shaks, the Kushans, Mongols, Mughals, Afghanis, Iranis. But this European invasion was very unique. All the previous invaders, they came and most of them settled in India. These new invaders, they believed only in plundering, colonialism, which is a very important part of modern world history, imperialism and colonialism. So if you prioritize the things, if you just think, okay, how India became a slave, why these Europeans came to India, why in 15th century there is a flood of Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, English, French, why? And you start making the graph of all these things. European entry, weakening of Mughal Empire, then the conquest of India right from Bengal to Punjab and Avadh 1848 and 1856. And then the chronology goes on. Once the country becomes slave, the intellectual mind stands up. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, Henry Vivian de Rozio. But the exploitation of a company increases to such a level that finally people revolted 1857. And then the company is replaced by the crown. and the new story starts, that is national movement, put a question mark, why? And this will give you a very good understanding of the particular subject. Culture,
So culture,
resource.
very underlooked aspect, especially with respect to me.
Okay, fine. So culture means, the philosophy of a nation, the economic status of a nation, the geography of a nation. It happens. Plus, there is no particular resource for it.
Yes.
Any you referred any book and or resource?
Nitin Singhania is one
Nitin
book, sir, but
Singhania.
I feel it is very bulky for the cost to fit ratio is very little. So utilize a lot of YouTube videos, sir. That is a good way.
That is a
A
good.
good way of doing it. And I collected a lot of diagrams from NCRTs, from textbooks. So I would replicate the same sketches in my answer writings. So that actually helped.
Modern world history.
Modern world history, again, I would love to read it, but again, the weightage was very
Very less.
very less. Sir. So I would briefly understand, again, go through the PYQs and utilized chat GPT here for word histories. So I would ask it to give the major events in the last two centuries and also feed it with the PYQs. So based on that, it would give me another similar. So
Post-independence.
Post-independence, the Spectrum new edition now covers the post-independence also, sir. Apart from that, again, PYQs and basic modern post-independence is actually more easier to understand because of it is ultimately the various subjects cover it in different angles.
Different angles.
Yes,
Definitely
so
different.
we can utilize the same content.
Geography for an engineer.
Again, most difficult subject for me personally. I would understand it, sir, but for writing, unlike other subjects, writing geography is very difficult because for history or any other subject, you can tell the same topic, you can stretch it out in different number of points. But with geography, what happens is, it is only, you have to tell about the process. If they're asking how volcanoes are erupted, if you tell the process, the answer is over. You cannot stretch it. You can tell multiple ways of answering the same. So it is a technical. That is the difficulty with technical subjects. So geography, I will not consider it as a humanities subject. It is a technical subject.
Science subject.
Yes, it is a science subject. So writing answers to geography is a bit difficult. But again, the resources I referred was 11th and 12th NCRTs. And various current affairs events, particularly in those 6-8 months before the mains, and PYQs. Sir. I've done a lot of answer writing for geography PYQs. Sir. I feel the themes are repeating. If not the question, the themes are repeating. Because one such theme in geography is water, sir. Every year there is a question on water. So if you have prepared multiple questions around the same theme, you're good to go. Sir. So smart study for geography, this is what I did. Because that was my weak area. Sir.
Fine. Society is again very important, which speaks about the political structure of a nation, the economic structure of a nation, the culture of a nation. It's very important to understand society. Don't neglect it. Well, if you see the pre-modern world of Europe, where women were hunted down as witches, but the same women, they are running different nations of Europe. How this change entered into European politics and society? Can you imagine? The blacks were treated only as slaves. Multiple stories of their torture. The entire civil war of America depended on whites and blacks. How these changes took place, how their society was able to give social justice, equality, liberty. How we can do this in India? What exactly society means? How it is connected with the economy of a nation, polity of a nation, geography of a nation, culture of a nation. It's a very alive subject. What you did?
So society, Indian society, the syllabus is very beautifully illustrated in the UPSC syllabus. But the problem with Indian society syllabus is you don't have a one-stop solution for it. Especially that was the initial problem I had. Issue with Indian society syllabus is it does not have a boundary, sir. And that was initially in my few attempts I found it very difficult to find notes for it until I got the book by Senthil sir, the Indian Society book. So that actually helped me, sir. So it can be, I can call it as a good resource, good fodder material, but ultimately it has to be more about observations around the society itself. And also I feel PYQs will again give a peek into the books, into the syllabus. I feel, sir, unlike other subjects in GS1, which are more static, the recent there has been a shift in the kind of questions even in Indian society. There has been more dynamic, more dynamism with respect to even the questions asked in UPSC mains. So I feel the resources cannot be just limited to books and notes. You have to be observant of the society around you.
Observant. See, a topper again uses the same word, observation. There was a question on frequent divorce this time. Previous year.
Yes, such questions you cannot find any resource from the books. It has to be just around, you have to be observant. You have to observe why the factors related to it, why is it happening. The various reports in the news that come up, you can quote them, sir. Then there is again different types of different reasons for divorces with respect to region, with respect to so there's a distribution, there's a very good data set on it. So all such things, I feel beyond books, UPSC preparation has to go beyond books. You have to be observant, you have to look at newspapers, you have to pick up content that is paper neutral. You cannot just look at it. I would say I will only collect data for economy or environment or international relations, etc. You have to collect data which is paper neutral, which I can utilize across the papers. So Indian society, same thing can be utilized in essay, ethics. The anecdotes I will use in the essay can come from Indian society examples. So my approach to Indian society was very dynamic, and again it was learning from my own mistakes. I thought it was just one book, one resource would help me, but the kind of questions that are coming, it is definitely, there is a change in trends. You have to be observant.
So this was the discussion about the first paper of GS, history, geography, society. Second paper is the spine of GS, spine, polity, governance, international relation. And without knowing these three things, I tell you with guarantee, you can never be a responsible citizen of a nation. Leave IS officer. Polity means what? The philosophy of management, the principles of management, directive principles of state. India became independent. We were getting wheat from America, the wheat which was given to the pigs in America. That India is the exporter of wheat today. So we have completed a very good journey. India is launching the satellite of countries like Germany, Delphi. That India, can you imagine? The India of 1947. And today India is a economic and political power in the world. No one can deny it. So how this polity works, how governance works, what exactly is international relation? Relation means what? We don't have energy reservoir. And without energy, you cannot run a nation. Energy is with the Arab world, mostly. So we have to maintain good relation with Arab world. We require technology. Technology is with Western powers. Although we are moving ahead in the field of technology and will be able to gain it more or less in the next 25-30 years. But still we are dependent. We require finance for our development projects. So energy, finance, technology. Plus, as a good human being, you should also have good relations with everyone. And we especially believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire earth is a village. Polity.
Yes.
What was your approach?
So personally, my personal favorite subject.
PSR, optional, yes.
Yes, sir. So that was one of the reasons I shifted from civil engineering to PSR. So that choice was very easy for me because already I had some good knowledge of polity, sir. So for GS2 polity, the polity of prelims is completely different from mains, sir. So
How?
For maybe the M. Lakshmikant book for Indian polity for prelims is much more than needed, sir. But
Okay. For prelims?
yes, for prelims. But for mains, it is not enough, sir, because the questions are more current affairs oriented. They go much deeper. They try to understand the philosophy of the constitution and the principles.
Exactly.
Here you have to just know what are the fundamental rights, duties, as you mentioned, DPSPs, etc. But what are the underlying philosophy of it? The interconnections between the fundamental rights and the DPSPs. These are the kind of questions. So for this, it does not require just textbooks, sir. It requires a more holistic understanding of the principles. So that is why I feel writing GS to answer is going to be difficult. Also, there is a governance and social justice part beyond just Indian polity that adds to the overall weightage of the subject, sir. So that is why polity is in general, I feel that you have to have a very good understanding of the structure, the framework of governance.
So in polity, you say for prelims, Lakshmikant is sufficient.
Yes.
For mains, apart from Lakshmikant?
Apart from Lakshmikant, I feel the current affairs monthly magazines. That is where you will draw a lot of news items, current affairs topics. The Hindu and Indian Express. That is again very important source, because let's say there is a question on the collegium system on Supreme Court that you will not find in Lakshmikant. You will have to go through some additional material there. So at least some coaching notes and apart from that, value addition through the op-eds, the editorials from the newspapers.
Governance?
For governance, my primary source, governance is again a very open-ended, there is no fixed resource for it until I found Karthikeyan sir, which was one of the primary resource I had in my earlier attempts. I continued with it. Apart from that, schemes and government policies, you can go through the official documents like the PIBs. That is a good value addition source. Then for social justice, again going through a lot of schemes, policies, acts, etc. The intricacies of it, the how the schemes in news recently, and ultimately GS2. If you go through the syllabus in detail, sir, and pick up the keywords and prepare at least 5-6 questions for each, you have a good notes on your own, sir. That would be my suggestion.
International relations?
International relation is a difficult one, sir. But coming from PSR background, it was a little easier for me. But I feel that for international relations, irrespective of your PSIR or not, one needs to have a good understanding of international relations.
Any basic book for this?
I have not referred any basic book, sir. There's a very good official document on the government MEA website itself on the various bilateral issues. It's a very good PDF document which summarizes the overall history and the current status between each bilateral and various multilateral groups. That is a foundation material. So for international relation, again, I would highlight the importance of the Hindu and Indian Express. Newspapers are irreplaceable for IR. A lot of questions, especially this year, reflected from the news items itself, the themes of the news items. So it's very important to bring that interlinkage between the static part and the newspaper readings.
Dynamic part.
Yes.
So, as you said with the beginning of this discussion, value addition is very important, especially for the second paper.
Yes.
Specific points which you want to say to the aspirants, this can be very helpful for your value addition.
Straight away, I have to point out at the Supreme Court judgments. These are like you can use them across GS2 paper. You can use it to substantiate your point that the Supreme Court judgment itself can be a point in itself. I've utilized it in that sense. The introduction part we were discussing earlier, the IBC format. earlier the very traditional method of introducing was through definitions. I feel directly writing the context of the question or through opening it through a Supreme Court judgment, that adds a better flavor to the answers. That straight away shows that the maturity of answer writing, that you're directly hitting the bullseye. So that I feel is a good Supreme Court judgments. Lot of committees, quoting lot of committees. And I mentioned, sir, earlier that the importance of news reading. Earlier what I would do is just read the newspaper, make notes of it. This year one change I made was explicitly mentioning the name of the author. Like we do in optionals, like where we are quoting the thinkers, the newspaper, the experts in those fields. So directly I'm utilizing that. According to Suhasini either, this is her thought of on particular topic, or according to C. Raja Mohan, I'm utilizing the names, explicitly using the names, because what I say about India-US relation does not hold much weight. Rather than what C. Raja Mohan says or Suhasini either says or anybody, the expert in that field says. So this is one change I brought, and I feel this is being rewarded, sir. So these two are some important, and ultimately each paper has to feel that it is sounding like that subject. So for that to happen, paper specific keywords that has to be there, sir. If there are not enough GS2 specific keywords, then it will not sound like, no matter how many points it does not sound like it. So a lot of paper specific keywords, Supreme Court judgments, committees, data sets. For example, criminalization of politics. You might write 10, 12 points, but if you're able to just highlight one important bar graph of the increase in criminalization across the last 5 Lok Sabha representation, that adds much more weightage than mere words. So these are some things I would like to highlight with respect to validations.
So you did not prepare the notes?
No, sir. I have not prepared any mains notes. The only notes I prepared is the validation notes. I've made an exhaustive validation notes for each paper.
It's a very smart thing also, because I tell you, it's very exhaustive to prepare the notes. So if you take the notes from the institutes, they are already doing homework for you.
Yes,
everyone is preparing, and everyone is trying to prepare a quality notes.
Yes.
Because if you will not provide the quality notes, people are not going to pay attention on your notes.
Yes.
So that was a very smart part which you did, and you did the value addition. Any other thing?
Apart from that, sir, one major thing that was missing in my previous attempts was that PYQ analysis and answer writing to PYQs. That I did not do, sir. So that change I made this year. Instead of writing answer to a lot of coaching test series, I wrote answers, everyday answer writing I did for the PYQs itself. So in this, now this helped me in covering the PYQs also. It also helped me in answer writing practice also. So this is one thing I did, and it has rewarded me deeply, sir.
You mentioned about Karthikeyan sir's book.
Yes.
Specific feature of that book?
So one is the validation that is imbibed within the book itself. So what and how should validation begin? I think the initial idea came through the book itself. So I extrapolated on that sense. And apart from that, Do Not Miss series by Aram IAS is also wonderful value addition, sir. So what it did was it gave the PYQ analysis, and also it built upon it, and it gave question answers on similar lines. So this helped me in PYQ analysis and also revision. So I did not have to chase too many test series for the same subject. So the similar lines questions were already framed and answered to me. Model questions were given, answers were given. So this is one thing I also changed this year, and that actually helped me, because the time frame between prelims and mains is shrinking year on year. Earlier it would be 110, 100 days, 100 plus days. Now it is just 75 days.
75.
Yes.
Fine. Third paper of GS is the soul of UPSC. Economy. Animal world misses this economy. There is a society in animal world. Animals have their own social structure. If you see the documentaries of Discovery, you will find so many documentaries. Animal world have their own management in the jungle. They have their own laws. That is why we call Jungle Raj. But economy is a thing which is one of the biggest. There are many things. There are many things which differentiate between animal world and human world. And one of them is economy. And in economy, when you say the medium of exchange, the currency war, the term is currency war. Trade and commerce, one of the basic factor of connectivity between all the nations in the world. Chanakya writes a book on polity, and the name of the book is Arthashastra. You can imagine the importance of economy. So economy, environment. In present world after industrial revolution, the biggest challenge has come for environment. And the developing nations, they have to maintain a balance between their development and environment. So a very big issue in the world today. Then internal security. It's not always the threat from outside, it's a threat from inside also. Disaster management is to save your human resource, which is very important resource. Without human resource, all other resources are useless. So third paper is the soul of UPSC, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Economy, how you did it?
So for economy, again the economy of prelims is very different from economy of mains. It is more application based. What we study in prelims is applied and then given in the form of mains questions here. So that is one change. Again, very dynamic in nature. Also, GS3 among all papers is the most equally distributed paper. We have 5 topics, 50 into 5 topics, 250 marks. So the distribution is very clear, the weightage of the marks. So, and also GS3 in all, among all, is the most comprehensive one, very exhaustive one, because it is very exhaustive, bulky, very comprehensive. Factual. So it is a little difficult to write good answers for it. So I feel the dynamism of GS3 can be countered through lot of value addition, newspaper reading and current affairs. So the basic static knowledge comes from prelims, but ultimately we have to build up on it, and that is where current affairs come in. So this was my approach. So even for economy, that was the approach, sir. I would bring in a lot of data sets, lot of reports from Indian government. There's just before the mains, there was a 11-year government document by Niti Aayog released, which covered across various sectors of how the Indian various sectors performed. So that was a very good document for me, sir. I did a lot of value addition from that book, that source. And also for me, sir, I feel GS3, one change I made this year was the way the data set is presented. Usually what happens is we all know some basic data sets, we are writing it in terms of numbers and words, but I changed that and I gave a pictorial representation of the same data in terms of bar charts, pie charts, etc. So this added to the visibility in my answers, and also removed that monotony of answers. So these are some changes I made, and a lot of help from economic survey, a lot of insights from that directly quoted into the economy answers.
Environment?
For environment, again very dynamic. My focus was mostly on current affairs oriented topics.
Basic book for environment?
PMFIS is a very good source, sir. But apart from that, newspaper and current affairs, especially for mains, again current affairs topics, you can go through the last 8-10 months hot topics.
Some important topics today in present world?
If any COP happens, COP 29, 30, 31, that is very important. So the outcomes of those COP frameworks is important. Apart from that, any particular pollution that has taken place in the recent months, it can be the oil pollution, the water pollution, marine pollution, etc. That can be directly asked into the... So it's important to follow important events that has happened across the world and India in environment front, sir. So this will help, sir. And again, lot of keyword specific, paper specific keywords, section specific keywords. So for an environment answer to sound like an environment answer, you have to put in those keywords, sir. So cannot be very lazy and write the same basic keywords like others, sir. So this
internal security?
Internal security, I feel, is the most very simple, and the syllabus is very fixed. So very easy to study, very easy to reproduce. So my focus this year was that I wrote the internal security answers first, sir. 9, 10 and the 11, 12, 19, 20th question. These 4 I actually wrote in my first few minutes.
This also works, na?
Yes, sir.
Choosing what to write initially.
Yes, that was one big change I made, sir. Because what happens, internal security, as I said, everyone knows that it is very simple and limited syllabus is there. And most people have covered the internal security syllabus. But what happens is while writing from 1 to 20, people are writing the internal security only at the end. In spite of having the best revision, the best resources, the more, as I said earlier, it's very limited in syllabus. But what happens is when you're writing at the end, 9th and 10th and 19th and 20th question, you're not giving the justice to that subject, sir. Justice was given while preparing, but not while answering when it actually mattered on the day of the exam. So this change I made, sir. I wrote 9, 10, 19, 20 first, so that I made sure my best energy goes to the most well-prepared topic. Then I would go to economy, agriculture, then environment, and then science and tech. Usually what happens, everyone knows science and tech is a very dynamic one. People prepare less there, but while solving, while writing, they give more attention and time there, sir. And limiting it to, limiting the time for internal security. So compromising internal security. So this is one change I made this year, sir. How to approach answer writing, allocation of my time and energy during the paper, sir.
This disaster management?
Disaster management, again, sir, most important disasters that have taken in the recent months, that is actually helpful. Apart from the some basic knowledge about the various disasters, the NDMA guidelines, the keywords, data sets, if these are there, enough, sir. That is.
In economy base portion, what is the striking areas? What are the striking areas?
Sir, the striking areas is that he expects a lot of depth in the answers, sir.
Topic wise, if you see topic wise?
More on banking, I would say, sir. Banking related questions.
Agriculture.
GDP. Agriculture is a very good, important, again, very important syllabus. And we can write very good answers for for agriculture and economy, sir. Again, a lot of insights I would take from newspapers. A lot of economists, agriculture economists, I would directly quote their views, their data sets directly into the paper. So that would add a lot of value. Again, as I said, when an expert is talking about that topic, that holds more water than what I speak about that about Indian economy or Indian agriculture.
You said one subject, one book. So which book was for economy?
For economy, I have read, I followed Nitin Singhania in the last few years, sir. Initially it was Ramesh Singh, but I felt Nitin Singhania is more exam oriented.
Environment?
Environment PMFIA, sir. That's a good source.
Internal security?
Internal security, I did not, I read a book, sir, but I felt some coaching notes is enough rather than any book.
Science and technology?
Science and tech, again, current affairs is more important than
any basic book for science and technology?
Basic, I would say, sir, the basic NCRTs plus some very good science and tech videos on YouTube, sir. That can be good material. Not everything has to come from book. I think the way we look at preparation has changed, sir. So if you're not very comfortable reading, especially for non science background, the YouTube videos actually help in, sir.
This disaster management?
Disaster management, I have not followed any particular book, sir. I have directly used the NDMA guidelines available on the website. Then various answer writing frameworks that I had created for disaster management and the current affairs. Let's say during the landslide that happened in Wayanad, that was a potential question that year. So I would follow various disasters that have happened in the preceding months. So focus more on that, put more emphasis on that, sir.
This was the discussion and the insight of Kiran Kamate on GS paper 3rd. Very dynamic section. The main part of this paper is very dynamic. Second paper and third paper, both.
Yes, sir.
Very dynamic.
Very dynamic.
Mala, if you want to be traditional in these two papers, you are going to lose major thing in your examination. You have to be very dynamic. It's very dynamic. It's very connective. If you see economy and environment, they are connective. Internal security, economy, connective. This connectivity of all the subjects, the data of all the subjects, the evidences for all the concepts you are going to write, they are very important. So if you're searching for some books only, I'll prepare it only from books, possibly you will be in trouble. This was the story of the third paper. GS paper 4, the crucial part of civil service GS paper. Ethics. Ethics generally means, the way to work properly, the way to take decisions properly. For example, I tell you, if you take out 5-6 people in a society, a bank manager, an IPS officer, a doctor, an IS officer, a politician, every one of them will have their own working ethics. If they neglect this term ethics, it will be very troublesome for them to work and give a good response to the country and the people. So I think that this paper is very important, very crucial. Majority of the students, they are unable to get the core of this paper, They run here and there, ethics, this book, that book, this newspaper. But there is a certain core. I said, tell you, history means what? Past. Alexander was coming to India. Alexander should have gone towards Britain, but he is coming towards East. Why? E is equal to E. Economy is equal to empire. If today America is in the search of oil, Alexander was in the search of spices. This is the theme, core of the subject. When you are picking up history, it's not you have to study history. Theme, wars, empires, society, religion, culture, they all are interconnected. Geography means development, prosperity, again culture. If you see the person from Tamil Nadu and then you take a person from Kashmir, a Hindu from Kashmir and a Hindu from Tamil Nadu, you will find the difference in the dressing sense of both the people. Why? Culture. If you see the food habit, so it's very important, it's very beautiful part of the syllabus, ethics. What do you think is the core of ethics? Why they want ethics as a paper in civil services?
So, one thing you rightly mentioned is there is no fixed resource for it. And one of the important mistake also you've highlighted that students jump from one resource to other. While there is no perfect resource that exists. Correct. And still students are looking for that resource. So why this paper introduced, I feel, just like essay, I feel that this is one more paper which is not objective in nature. And so let's say a question on GS 1, 2, 3, that answer can have different answers. That question can have different answers, but they all overlap at certain area. But that does not happen with ethics. You can have 100 answers and all those 100 can be different approaches. So I feel that is again very similar to essay. It's an open field, it's a creative field. So what matters is, I feel, the ability of the candidate to look at the situation, and in that he explores his own the blacks and the whites and the grays of his own decision makings. And I think that's the point of this paper. With respect to sources, there is no fixed source, sir. What I did and what worked for me is that understanding the syllabus of the papers first and foremost. So what I did was took out the printout of the syllabus, highlighted all the important keywords. I maintained 3-4 sheets, sir. First sheet was the keywords. The second sheet was the meaning, a very simple 2-line definition of each keyword, not the Google one, not the textbook definition, what it means to me, integrity, what it means to me. I wrote 2-line basic simple definitions for each of those keywords. Third was I wrote 3 to 4 examples for each of those keywords. So those 3-4 keywords examples would have 2 from civil servants, bureaucracy, and 1 or 2 from very common man example. So this is how I did. And apart from that, I also accumulated a lot of quotations for each of those keywords. So this was actually the only notes I prepared. And yet I have got very good marks in my each of my attempts. 116 in last attempt, 121 this year, sir. So I think ethics is the most easiest to prepare, and you can also score very high in that. And I feel it is one of the important pillars among essay, ethics, and optional. This is also one of the very important pillars of mains.
Trinity of civil service.
Trinity of civil service. Trinity of mains.
What are the mistakes which the aspirants do in this paper?
So preparing for this is itself is difficult. Mistakes I would say is that they try to answer it like a GS answer. That is not going to work, sir. Here again, the paper specific keywords have to come in. You have to use more ethics related keywords. And one change also I did was I brought in a lot of thinkers, authors, etc. Directly quoted them, sir. So that is one thing I did, sir. And answer writing. Answer writing to ethics is difficult than GS. So again, I practiced a lot of answer writing for ethics. Especially the case studies was one more thing, sir. The choice of candidates during the examination. I tend to finish my case study first, part B, and then move to part A, sir. I think that is a good approach. And I think most of the toppers have done it. So I would advise the new aspirants also to go for it rather than the general traditional method of answering the first part and then going to part B, sir. Because what happens, case studies is for 20 marks, it is 4 pages, sir. Now 6 case studies are there. So in the if I'm traditionally going from finishing part A and then going to case study, if I've messed up my time management in the part A, then I'm reducing my time for each case study, and case studies are very exhaustive, very lengthy. In the urgency of finishing it fast, I might miss out on the very intricate details of it. So that is why I would advise case studies part B first and then part A. These are some mistakes I have done in my past, and I would advise the new aspirants in this regard, sir.
Any particular book?
Book, I would say I would say lot of Google, and also a book by M. Karthikeyan, sir. That is a good book, sir. That you can utilize it. That acts as a fundamental. But again, I highlighted 3-4 pages that I mentioned, 3 lists I did. You can utilize that book as a foundation and then build on it all the 3 lists, the keywords, the definition, quotations, and examples. So if this is simple, and this is more than enough for ethics.
So this series, Do Not Miss Test Series, what was its role?
Yes, sir. It was again very important and instrumental in the mains preparation. 2 areas, sir. One is PYQ analysis, which I had neglected in my earlier attempts. That was readily available through this test series and the material provided by the institute. Second is the probable questions on similar lines that was given, sir. So this made my work easier. So that was another highlight, sir. And as I said, sir, practice is the key. You can study number of resources, but ultimately you have to practice. So the test series actually is spread out in such a way that you start with sectional tests initially and then go on with FLTs. So that actually helped in tackling answer writing and putting my preparation into practice. So this is where it helped me, sir.
Value addition in this paper?
Value addition in this again is very difficult, unlike other, because you don't have any ready-made resource for it. But if I have to highlight one resource, the Better India website is a very good value addition, sir. And I also have to say that social media will actually help in a lot of value addition in this. You come across a lot of examples on social media of various bureaucrats, IAS officers, etc. Also very common man, the Padma Shri awardees, Padma Awards awardees. This can be directly utilized. Instead of giving the traditional examples of just Gandhiji, of Mandela or Buddha, you can go beyond that. And I think that actually helps. And also I feel a lot of, as I mentioned earlier also, reading beyond UPSC actually helps in ethics also, sir. It improves the language, it gives good vocabulary, and that adds overall to the quality of answer writing.
If Kiran Kamate is asked,
Yes,
ki, sir, please tell us the 4 fundamental principles of UPSC preparation, what will be the 4 points which we will try to give to the aspirants who are still present preparing for the service?
So, 4 fundamentals, I would say, first and foremost is keep your resources limited.
Very fundamental thing. Keep your resources limited. See, these people, they have done it. They are speaking by their heart. Listen to them. And he also gives a mantra today: one subject, one book. Second?
Second is that this exam is not just about reading, sir. It's also about practice.
Practice. Practice is not. Third?
Third, you have to be very curious for this exam. Curious and patient, sir.
Curiosity and patience. Fourth?
Fourth, you can study from any other resource, not just books, sir. It can be YouTube, it can be any others. You can be your non-UPSC members. So you tend to learn a lot from others, observation from society. So keeping one's eyes and ears open and not just be limited to the UPSC syllabus, UPSC resources. So going beyond UPSC actually helps to counteract the dynamism of these examinations.
Friends?
Friends, yes, sir. They are needed, they are helpful. Having a good peer group is important.
That's important. These were the insights given by the 53 third rank of 2025. A very rich, full talk, very important discussion. All the dimensions were opened. And I hope you'll get, whenever you listen to these people, sit with a diary and a pen. Listen what they're saying. Although his uniqueness is that he is not bothered about preparing the notes. But he refers to the advanced material already present in the market. It's very good. If you're getting a market material, it will save your time. But purchasing a material is not important. Value addition is very important. That is your homework. Then test series. Preparing a chart for every test series, mains test series, prelims test series. Then how to come out from the boredom which this exam creates, that will be your talent. NCRT will again act as a door to open this game. So start with a tortoise model. Slow start. It's a marathon, he said in the beginning of the discussion. It's a marathon. And the speciality of the marathon is, if you take the pace in the beginning of the marathon, you are going to exhaust yourself in the half of the race. These are the key points, these are the key words which he keeps on talking. The graph, the diagrams, the data, the events. And possibly you will be the next person to sit here along with me, telling these key things to the next future aspirants. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.